It's 3 a.m. Your room is dark, nothing is wrong, your life is genuinely fine, and then your brain leans over and goes, "Hey, remember that time?" And suddenly you're reliving the moment you waved back at someone who was waving at the person behind you, or said "you too" when the waiter told you to enjoy your meal, or that thing you said in a classroom years ago that made the whole room go quiet, in full color, the exact words, the look on their face, the heat climbing up your neck, moments everyone else forgot the same day they happened, and your brain has kept them locked in a vault, polished and ready, waiting for the exact moment you're lying down and completely defenseless to hit play. This is not random. Your brain does this on purpose. And tonight we're going to take apart why the inside of your own skull turns into a courtroom at 3 a.m., why it's always the bad memory and never a good one, and why almost none of it is your fault. Because your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it was built to do. It's just catastrophically bad at knowing when to stop. First, some relief. This is not just you. You don't have a guilt complex or a freakishly good memory for humiliation. The dark room, the sudden wave of cringe, the full body flinch where you curl up or hiss "no" at the ceiling. That happens to nearly every human alive. Every age, every personality, including the confident ones, including the people you're certain have never felt awkward for a second in their lives. So, whatever your brain is telling you tonight about how uniquely embarrassing you are, it's whispering that same lie into almost everyone's ear. Start with a strange fact. You probably can't remember what you ate for dinner 4 nights ago, but you can remember in surgical detail the exact wrong thing you said to someone in high school. Why does one vanish and the other stay forever? Because your brain doesn't save memories equally. It's not a camera recording everything, it's a bouncer, making one snap decision about every moment of your day. Is this a threat, or can I throw it out? Tuesday's dinner wasn't a threat. Deleted. But that thing you said in front of people? Flagged. Filed in red and kept forever. And to understand why your brain thinks an awkward sentence is worth keeping for life, you have to understand what it thinks you almost lost. Your brain is running software about 50,000 years out of date. For nearly all of human history, you didn't survive on your own. You survived because a group let you belong to it. The group shared the food, the group kept watch while you slept, and the fastest way to die was to get pushed out of it, to be laughed at, shamed, marked as the strange one, and left behind. So your brain built an alarm, a loud and sensitive one, and it learned to treat being judged by other people as a genuine life or death emergency, because for your ancestors it absolutely was. Here's the problem that ruins your nights: that alarm was never updated. You live in a world of text messages and grocery stores, and your brain is still wired as if one bad impression could get you banished to freeze in the dark. So when it drags up that old awkward moment, it isn't glitching. By its own ancient logic, it's carefully reviewing the footage of the time you nearly got yourself killed, which is why it physically hurts. That wince when a cringe memory lands, the sudden heat, the urge to fold in on yourself, that isn't you being dramatic. Researchers put people in brain scanners and had them relive social rejection and embarrassment, and they found something strange. Those moments light up the same regions of the brain that fire when you feel physical pain. To your brain, there's barely any difference between the memory of humiliation and an actual injury to your body. So when you cringe, some deep old part of you is treating that memory like a bruise getting pressed. You're not weak for flinching at something from years ago. Your brain has it filed in the same drawer as getting hurt. And notice which memories actually show up. It's almost never last week. It's high school. It's that thing from when you were 14. There's a reason your worst hits are all from the same stretch of life. The years between about 10 and 25 get burned into memory harder than any other, and they were recorded by a version of your brain that felt everything at maximum volume before the calm, rational part had finished growing in. Teenage you had the emotions cranked all the way up and the brakes not fully installed. Today, you have a grown adult brain that acts like a shock absorber, so when you embarrass yourself now, it cushions the blow and files it calmly. But those old teenage memories were carved in by someone who didn't have the shock absorber yet. You're not just remembering the moment, you're refeeling it at the exact volume a 14-year-old felt it. So why does all of this wait until night? Two forces gang up on you. All day your brain is slammed, dodging traffic, firing off replies, deciding what to eat, half watching 15 things at once. That constant noise fills your head and drowns the replay out. But at night the inputs shut off. No notifications, no tasks, no one to talk to. Suddenly there's all this empty room inside your skull, and your brain does what it always does with silence. It wanders back to the pile of things it never finished processing, and that pile is mostly unresolved, uncomfortable moments. That's the first force. The second is chemistry. As your body powers down for sleep, the smart, rational front part of your brain starts clocking out for the night, but the emotional alarm, the amygdala, stays wide awake. So for a couple of hours, right as you're trying to sleep, the responsible adult in your head goes off duty and the anxious, dramatic part is left running the whole building with nobody supervising it. There's even a network in your brain that switches on the instant you stop concentrating, and its entire specialty is turning your attention inward, onto yourself, onto your past, onto exactly the replay you're trying to escape. You didn't invite the cringe in, you just stopped being busy enough to keep it out. Now, the genuinely unfair part, the reason this becomes a trap. You'd think replaying a memory 1,000 times would wear it smooth, the way a scary movie stops scaring you by the fifth watch. Your brain does the opposite. Every time you pull up a memory, it doesn't just play back. For a moment, it becomes soft and rewritable before your brain saves it again. And what are you feeling while you replay it at 3 a.m.? Shame, dread, a fresh, hot wave of cringe. So when your brain resaves the memory, it saves it with all of that attached. You didn't diffuse it. You painted on another coat of pain and hit save, teaching your brain that this memory is important and it hurts, so keep it close. Which makes it come back sooner and hit harder next time. The nightly replay isn't reviewing the wound to heal it, it's reopening it and packing it with fresh salt. But here's the twist that should set you free. That other person in the memory, the one who saw you trip or heard you say the wrong thing, the entire audience to your worst moment, they don't remember it. It barely registered. It's gone. Because here's something almost impossible to accept at 3 a.m. and yet completely true. Everyone is the anxious main character of their own memory and a blurry background extra in everyone else's. While you've spent years as the only ticket holder, replaying your humiliation in a dark, empty theater, the other person walked out that same afternoon and never thought about it again because they were too busy being haunted by their own private reel. Nobody's keeping a file on you. There's no permanent record anywhere. You're the only one who kept the tape because your brain mistook one awkward second for a threat to your life. So step back and look at what's really going on. Your brain isn't doing this to torment you. It thinks it's helping. It genuinely believes that if it shoves the mistake in your face enough times, you'll learn, you'll be careful. You'll never get cast out of the group. It's a bodyguard, just one running 50,000-year-old instructions, treating burnt toast like the house is on fire. That's not cruelty. It's a bad translation. And here's what you actually do when it starts at 3 a.m. Don't fight the memory, because fighting it only feeds it. Name it. Tell yourself plainly, that's just my threat alarm misfiring. Naming it wakes the rational part of your brain back up and pulls you out of pure feeling. Then aim a little kindness at the version of you in the memory the same kindness you'd give a friend. Because if your best friend confessed the thing you're cringing about, you'd forget it in 5 seconds. Then let the memory sit there unfinished and let your tired brain drift somewhere else. You're not deleting it, you're just filing it one time without the fresh coat of shame. So tonight, when it goes dark and quiet and your brain leans in with that old highlight reel, you'll know exactly what you're looking at. Not proof that you're awkward, not a permanent record of your failures, just a tired, overprotective alarm running ancient software, doing its clumsy best to protect you from a danger that stopped existing thousands of years ago. And you'll know one more thing. All over the world right now, an enormous number of people are lying awake doing the exact same thing you are. So if you want to feel less alone in the theater, drop the memory your brain won't let you forget in the comments. You'll be amazed how many people reply, "Me too. New video next week." Now, seriously, try to get some sleep.